Every day millions of people donate or throw away clothing they no longer need. Most of these garments are still wearable and in good condition. But in many developed countries, there are simply too many clothes and not enough buyers. What looks like unwanted clothing is actually valuable inventory for exporters. Across cities and neighborhoods, clothing donation bins collect thousands of garments every week. Charities and collection companies gather these bags from communities and households. Large trucks transport the clothing to specialized sorting warehouses. This is where the international used clothing business truly begins. Inside massive facilities, workers open huge bags filled with donated garments. Shirts, jackets, jeans, and shoes are sorted on long industrial tables. Each item is carefully inspected for quality and condition. Higher quality clothing is separated for resale markets around the world. The sorting process is fast and highly organized. Workers categorize clothing by type, size, and material. Some items are perfect for resale while others are recycled into textile materials. Efficient sorting allows exporters to process thousands of garments every hour. Once sorted, the clothing is moved into storage areas inside the warehouse. Large plastic sacks and containers hold hundreds of garments each. Inventory systems track every category of clothing inside the facility. This organization prepares the products for the next stage of export processing. Before shipping, the garments must be compressed into dense bundles. Hydraulic bale machines press large piles of clothing into tight rectangular blocks. Each bale can contain hundreds of pieces of clothing. Compression allows exporters to save space and reduce transportation costs. After compression, workers wrap each clothing bale with thick plastic film. Shipping labels identify the type of garments and destination country. These bundles are stacked onto wooden pallets for easy transport. Everything is carefully prepared for international shipping. Forklifts move the heavy bales across the warehouse floor. Workers load them into large steel export containers. Each container can carry thousands of garments to overseas buyers. This is how used clothing begins its journey around the world. Once packaged, the clothing moves to the shipping dock. Forklifts load bales into large export containers. Each container carries thousands of garments. These shipments travel to markets across the world. Before export, each shipment is carefully inspected inside the warehouse. Workers verify clothing quality and confirm the destination markets. Inventory systems track thousands of garments moving through the facility. Careful organization keeps the supply chain efficient and reliable. Once prepared, the clothing is transported to international shipping ports. Large cargo containers are loaded onto massive ocean vessels. These ships carry thousands of tons of goods across global trade routes. Used clothing becomes part of the international shipping network. After arriving in destination countries, the clothing enters local resale markets. Street vendors and small retailers purchase bundles from importers. These sellers open the bales and display the garments for customers. Affordable prices attract large numbers of buyers. Export companies sell these clothing bundles to international wholesalers. Prices depend on quality, brand, and clothing category. Buyers purchase entire bales to resell in markets and stores. Each transaction generates revenue for the exporting companies. Like any global business, this industry also has operating costs. Warehousing, labor, transport, and shipping require major investment. But strong international demand keeps the business profitable. Efficient logistics allow exporters to maintain healthy margins. As shipments increase, the company processes larger volumes of clothing. More inventory means more export containers leaving the warehouse. Higher volume allows companies to expand their operations. Scaling the business leads to larger profits. Successful exporters often operate multiple warehouses and facilities. Collection networks expand across several cities and regions. This constant flow of clothing keeps the supply chain active. Larger operations generate even greater revenue potential. Today, the global second-hand clothing trade is worth billions of dollars. Millions of garments move across borders every year. What begins as unwanted clothing becomes valuable merchandise. A simple product fuels an enormous industry. This entire system begins with clothing people choose to discard. With the right logistics, it becomes a powerful international business. The used clothing export trade proves an important lesson. Sometimes the most overlooked industries generate the biggest profits.